One question that I keep getting quite often is, do I actually need to tear out the wall or the ceiling to get proper soundproofing? If I don't tear out the wall and just slap something on the wall, am I just wasting my money? Or yeah, do I have to tear out the wall and add some insulation? Well, the answer is yes. Sometimes, a lot of the times, you really don't need to remove the drywall or the ceiling. It really all depends what type of noise that you're trying to soundproof. First, let's go through the ways that you could soundproof without tearing the wall and if it's actually worth it. First, we'll start with the wall and then we'll go with the ceiling in a minute. If you're just trying to soundproof, let's say voices, TV, airborne noise, then you don't really need to remove the drywall and add a bunch of insulation in the wall. All you need to do is add mass. Add another layer of drywall over top of the drywall that you already have. And that is the proper way to soundproof noise from transferring from one room to the other. Now, we're not really talking about doors and windows because that's another obstacle. Let's stick with a wall that has no doors, no windows. If you want to soundproof that wall only, then adding mass to that wall is what you need. I know a lot of people online will tell you that soundproofing a wall is quite easy. All you need to do is add some acoustic foam or acoustic panels and you'll see a dramatic drop in noise transfer, and that's just not the case because these types of panels are not meant to block sound but meant to absorb sound. And some people will say, well, if you absorb sound, aren't you eliminating that sound? Well, the answer is not really. What you're doing by absorbing the noise, you're eliminating the echo in the room that the noise is happening. You're not stopping the noise from going from one room to the other, especially if you're soundproofing the room from noise from outside of that room. Acoustic panels and foams isn't going to do much of anything. And even hanging stuff on the wall, like moving blankets, that's all things that will not really work. It'll remove maybe 1 or 2 decibels, but that's about it. That's more if you're renting and you really don't have any other options and that's the only thing that you can do. But if you can do a little bit of construction, you don't need to take your sledgehammer and remove that wall and add insulation. All you need to do, add mass. Mass is what is going to block and stop those airwaves. No, sound waves. It might stop some airwaves too, but we'll talk about that in another video. But the sound waves is what you want to stop. So adding drywall over that drywall and even adding something called mass-loaded vinyl in between the first and second layer of drywall is going to make quite a difference. Now, mass-loaded vinyl is not cheap, but it is effective and it is thin. What it is, a very dense rubber-like material. It comes in a roll. The more you buy, the cheaper it is, but the more you buy, the heavier it's going to be, and you will need a friend to install it with you. The thing with mass-loaded vinyl is you have to make sure that you cover the entire wall. You can't just leave a few spots or cover half of the wall and think that it's going to make a difference. It's not going to make really much of a difference. You have to go from, and also you have to make sure that in between the seams that you have some mass-loaded vinyl tape to seal those seams. And then you can add your drywall. You can either add a layer of 5/8 inch drywall, which is a little bit more expensive than your 1/2 inch, but it is heavier, it is better, and it will block more noise than your 1/2 inch. That is what's going to block the sound waves. However, if you're trying to, let's say, block vibrational noise, like footsteps, can you do the same thing as what I just mentioned to the wall, to the ceiling? All depends. If the noise that you're trying to block is, let's say, TV noise, and that's all you can kind of hear, TV, people talking, maybe people shouting, yes, that drywall is going to help significantly in blocking that noise. However, most of the time when you're trying to soundproof a ceiling, it's more so for, yeah, the footstep noise, those vibrational noise. What's going to happen if you add another layer of drywall? That vibration is going through the floor, into the joist, and onto the ceiling, and down into the room. If you add another layer of drywall, that vibrational noise is going to lessen, but by a very, very small amount. What's made to block the vibration is a complete decoupling of the ceiling and the studs. Get some sound isolation clips. You drill those directly onto the studs. You'll have to remove the ceiling, of course, and then attaching what is called a hat channel onto those sound isolation clips. As you can see, those sound isolation clips has a circular piece of rubber that separates the joist from the drywall. So then you have those vibrational noise, those footstep noise. It is dissipated throughout the channel, and minimal amount of noise is going to go down into the room. Sometimes I see people soundproofing and they add this rock wool safe and sound. If I just add an extra layer of drywall over the drywall and skip the insulation, am I going to be okay? And the answer is yes. However, if you do remove the insulation and add rock wool safe and sound, your soundproofing project will be a little bit better, because since you're now removing the drywall, you can go behind the electrical boxes, behind all those outlets, add something called putty pad. You can wrap this around the electrical box. It was made for fire safety, but it works excellent for blocking noise and blocking those sound leaks. It is definitely something that I would recommend, especially if your wall is already open. Now, is it something that is necessary? Well, the answer is no, it's not. However, what I would do is try to seal that electrical box as best I can from the outside. First things first, shut the breaker down. Take the faceplate off the electrical outlet. You can see that gap between the drywall and the electrical box. You want to seal that gap. Every little hole, every little gap will let noise in. So something like this is going to help a little bit. It's more of a finishing touch, acoustic caulking, and add it there. You're not good. If that's the only thing that you do, then you're probably going to not be too happy with the results. But if you're already soundproofing everything, that is a good finishing touch to block those sound leaks. I'll have links in the description below of everything I talk about in this video, and that acoustic sealant that I recommend will be there. Now, the difference between acoustic caulking and regular caulking is this stuff, it doesn't dry and crack. It stays rubbery over time. Put the faceplate back on and you're good to go. That is if you're not removing the drywall. So what are you gonna do? Do you have a soundproofing project right now that you're wondering, should I remove the drywall or not? Let me know in the comment section below, because as I said, a lot of different noise requires just a different soundproofing strategy, and not every soundproofing strategy is going to work for every soundproofing project. And if you're really stumped and you don't want to waste too much money making mistakes, I do have a one-on-one consultation and also just a member section. You can pick the tier and you can join and I can help you out. So you can try that. Now, if you want to know how to soundproof the entire room, wall, ceiling, doors, window with sound test with a decibel meter, video right here will show you how. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, assuming you subscribed.